Hey, what's up? Today I'm going to be giving a review for Batgirl Volume 1 Batgirl of Burnside. Now this is like a reboot of like the Batgirl storyline, and Batgirl of course is Barbara Gordon, the daughter of Jim Gordon, Commissioner Gordon. Now this particular like storyline, I think it was released in it started in 2014 if I'm not mistaken. Like when they rebooted the series. I think it was like in the year 2014. But this particular volume that I have right here, it collects issues like 35 through 40 of Batgirl. Now, basically, what the premise of like this right here, this particular reboot is, which is kind of cool too to a certain extent, is that it's actually a reboot like Barbara Gordon's like storyline as Batgirl, but at the same time, it's still keeping like the events that happened in her past. Like you can already tell that she was Batgirl at one point. Plus, it even keeps like the origin tale of how she was like paralyzed by the Joker. Remember when he shot her in like the Killing Joke storyline, when he shot her and left her like a paraplegic. It also still keeps that. Now that's what's kind of cool to me about how they actually kind of kept that like history of like Barbara Gordon being like paralyzed by the Joker. So I put her in a wheelchair. From then on she was like the Oracle, and she was like the Oracle for like many years. I know that event happened like in the 80s, and she was like the Oracle for so long. She was like paralyzed from the waist down. But she was still able to help, so like her fellow like Bat family members like Batman and all of them like Robin and stuff. I think what you call it, like the Birds of Prey crew the Black Canary and stuff like that. She was able to still help them. So I kind of like that it keeps like that part of her history. But at the same time it's like rebooting her storyline. So I think that was kind of awesome that they gave respect to the history that she did have. Well, basically this story deals with the idea of her moving to like a city that's still in Gotham City, known as Burnside. So this is like a neighborhood that exists in Gotham City. And I don't know, I didn't really look into it that much. I don't know if Burnside has been introduced for the first time or not, but I'm not really too sure. But this is my first time I think actually really hearing it, that it was called Burnside, this neighborhood, because it's kind of similar to like Bloodhaven. Bloodhaven is kind of still around Gotham City. It's just like across the bridge, but Burnside is actually in Gotham City. It's like a neighborhood. So she's living in this area now. She done moved from where like the part of Gotham City that she was living in to this side known as Burnside, and she somehow managed to take on her Batgirl persona again, but this time in a new neighborhood, because events happen, which causes her to become like Batgirl in this new like neighborhood. And plus you have like her friend like Diana who shows up, like the Black Canary. She doesn't really become the Black Canary in the story or whatever like that, but she does be there at times. She even uses her canary cry where she screams and stuff, but she's still there as just like kind of like a friend for like Barbara Gordon. But Barbara, like at the start of like the story, like Barbara Gordon moves into like this apartment like with these like her friends, one of them is known as Frankie, and which is cool. She's an African American girl, and who's like gay. She's like homosexual. I mean, well, like gay basically, whatever. But she's like an African American chick, so I thought that was kind of like interesting. And she's like Barbara's like best friend in the story, besides like Donna. The Black Canary. So yeah, that's what's going on. Basically, Barbara has moved to this new neighborhood known as like Burnside. And she at one point her outfit, her Batgirl suit gets like burned up on like this like mysterious like fire, which involved like Donna, like the Black Canary, which involved her because her stuff was also burned up too as well. So Barbara had to actually create a new Batgirl suit, which is kind of cool looking. I like how it looks like hip and like like modern and stuff. She has to make a new bat suit, but then at one point she comes across like this other guy known as like Ali, I think Quader. And he actually develops her weapons, like the grapple gun. He makes like a grapple gun for her, and like various like weapons and stuff for her that she uses, to fight crime and Burnside and stuff like that. But the thing I thought was kind of like off about it, it still seemed like it was kind of aimed at like a much like younger crowd almost, but it was still like violent and like very like adult like, so you could tell it was aimed at like an adult crowd, but it still kind of seemed like it was kind of aimed at more like a much like younger crowd, like young real like young. But I mean, it's still like it's like interesting. But I thought the writing in it was like excellent. Like the people, the way they wrote like the storyline, like the script and stuff, like the way they talked, or just like the story itself, the writing I thought was like just excellent. For my opinion. And I could be wrong, but I thought that was kind of like excellent. The artwork in it, I thought was kind of I thought it was okay, but like the moments where Barbara's like it's like very hip. It's like it really exists in this modern age with like the phones and stuff. They have this thing that's kind of like Facebook and like Twitter and tweets, like known as I think they call it Hook. I think that's what it's spelled. It could be Hulk, but I think it's Hook though because it's two O's in there. Like Hook. I mean yeah, like Hook. I think I'm not mistaken. They have their own like different like brands and stuff. Just like how we live in today's world, which I think was kind of cool. Like when Barbara's like looking at Texas and stuff when she's on her particular like Hookie page, I think that's what they call it. She gets like likes and like dislikes. You see how many views she got. So I think that was awesome. How it kept that kind of like the bar until almost kind of like like she's like on Facebook or something like that, or Twitter or tweet, and she's getting like likes and dislikes when she's using her phone. So I thought that was like very cool, man. That is awesome. But I feel like Batgirl was like just too exposed in the story. She was like everybody knew who she was. She was like very popular in the story. They all knew that she was like paralyzed and all this and that, but they still didn't know who she was. That she was Barbara Gordon and stuff like that. But that's what kind of ruined it. She was like, from my opinion, she was like too exposed. Like she was like too well known, for my opinion. So I kind of think that's what kind of exposed it. And like the main villains of the story is like one known as I think Riot Black, and he owns like this website and stuff like that like puts out people's business and something like that. But he turns out to be kind of one of the main villains of the story. And then at the same time, it was like the main villain of it was like this like computer thing that had went kind of wrong or something like that. And that's what was kind of controlling everything and making everything like messed up and stuff like that. But I don't want to spoil it. But in the end, I would give Batgirl Volume 1, Batgirl of Burnside, that's what they call it, Batgirl of Burnside. I would give this probably, I think I'd be aiming at a C for this. It just never really like took off for me, but I thought it was like decent. I'd be definitely looking forward to reading like another one, I wouldn't mind. I would like to get like another one, cause I might like it, But it just never really like took off for me, But I like the look of it, have like it has like that modern look to it, but it just never really like took off for me, Like the characters and stuff, they weren't too they were kind of interesting, but not too interesting, And I still feel like it was just like I feel like Barbara herself, like Batgirl, I feel like she was just too exposed in the story, just she was too popular basically, from my opinion. I'm a fan of Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, I like her. Now you do have moments where you get to see like glimpses of like Batman here and there, or even like Robin, it's faint though. They may have like one page, like one picture, even like Gordon and stuff like that, you get to see like even the Joker, but it's not really too much, But yeah, I'm aiming at a C for Batgirl Volume 1. Batgirl of Burnside, and this will be my review. Alright. Okay, this is my Batgirl Volume 1 Batgirl of Burnside. So this is actually how it looks, as you can see. And I did like the look of like Barbara Gordon in this one with Batgirl herself, and this particular like collection of stories, because this is like a reboot, like I mentioned in like the review, of the Batgirl like storyline, which is cool because it still keeps like the events of what happened in her past, like when the Joker like paralyzed her and stuff like that. I thought that was cool. They actually kept that, but were still actually able to reboot like her storyline from my end. So I thought that was cool. They gave that respect, But this collects like issues of Batgirl, issues 35 to 40. So oddly, it wasn't like the first 5 issues, but like issues 35 through 40, And like at the end of it, it's kind of a short book. I mean, it's still kind of lengthy because like the writing in it, which I thought was like excellent. I could be wrong, but I thought they had like some good writing here, from like the people who wrote it, But I thought the storyline it was kind of short, But like towards the end of it, has like a bunch of like covers, which could be like a issue themselves, because there's so many like covers of like, I guess like you said, like the different like Batgirl cover stories. I mean, cover issues that they had, It collects those, But yeah, that's how she looks in this particular version. You can see she has like her phone up there too as well, which I thought was like one of the coolest things about like the Batgirl of Burnside, this new reboot. It had kept like the modern like look to, how like we're living in this day and age with like all this technology and stuff like that. So I thought that was cool that they really had that, like a strong vibe of that in this particular story, and I thought that was awesome, the way they did that, But I thought the artwork in it was it was okay, it was decent. But I did like but I did think like the phone, whenever they're doing like phones, like the likes or the dislikes, the texts and stuff like that. I thought that stuff was like awesome, because it really felt like like today's like world, But I thought it was okay. But basically this is it, and this has like an image on the back too of her fighting like one of like the enemies in the storyline, which is based on like a anime television series that Barbara Gordon used to watch as a kid. You know. Okay, so yeah, this is my Batgirl Volume 1, the Batgirl of Burnside, like graphic novel, as you can see right here. And I'm planning on, I'm not planning on, but I'd be willing to read more of these, even though I didn't really enjoy it too much. I thought it was okay, but I'd be willing to read like more of these, you know. All right.